What is up, everybody? You guys caught me with that strange face, but welcome back to yet another episode of the Camera Junkie live stream. I just realized that I'm getting some audio coming through from here, so I'm just gonna shut that off. It looked a little weird because I saw the levels jumping, but I wasn't sure if it was coming through. With that being said, welcome. It is episode 204. Yes, that's 204 consecutive episodes of the Camera Junkie live stream. My name's Luis, also known as Mr. Camera Junkie, where I remind you to upgrade your skills before your gear. And if it's your first time here, well, then welcome. Please be sure to introduce yourself into the chat so you can get the nice Camera Junkie crew welcome. And as tradition goes around here, the first thing that I always do is to check to see who are the first camera junkies in the crew to make it into the chat. So let's go ahead and do that. All right. Boop. Let's go over here. Perfect. All right. And still unwinding and decompressing from the Ecamm's creator camp. So yeah, I'm still unwinding and unpacking and just getting everything, because I was the last one of all of us to get home. I got home yesterday and then still needed to return the vehicle and everything like that. So I'm still in the thick of it. But first person here is Gretchen saying good evening to the crew, to Aiden and myself. How are you, Gretchen? Already missing everybody from Creator Camp. And speaking of that, we also have Mr. Paul Duncan saying hey to the fam. Also someone who was there. We have Tornado Marketing in the house saying hello to everyone, saying hi to Paul as well. Welcome to the live stream. I know you've been around through all the chats, but it's nice to have you here on the Camera Junkie live stream. You see, Gretchen's already saying hi. That's part of that, warm welcome that you get from the crew. Same as Paul. And Gary's in the house saying, glad made it home safely. Great seeing you at camp. Likewise, brother. It was really nice to meet you and nice to see you here in chat as well. I took the scenic route and I even stayed an extra day at Amesbury, because every time that I go over there, the city makes it really, really hard for me to leave. So I checked out on Monday, but because I was finishing up some things at the Ecamm headquarters, I was leaving and I ran into Lori, which is the head of the Code and Circuit, which is the nonprofit school that can actually host from the same building or the same location at the Ecamm headquarters. And with that, we were able to get in touch. She's got a lot of things going on. I believe this week there's going to be a segment that is dedicated to Code and Circuit from Boston Dynamics, which is one of the features that, like Ecamm and Ken and Glenn, they have Spot, the robot dog, and I was able to drive Spot a couple of years ago, and I have footage of that. Just awesome memories that I've made with Ecamm. And with that being said, I was able to see Lori on my way out, and she mentioned that, she was out of town because of this Boston Dynamic, segment that they were doing. That, once again, congratulations to her and the entire team. And but now that we were there, she was just wondering if I was leaving or if I was going to stay in town. So, a couple of things ended up working out that I was like, you know what, I'm going to try to help out as best I can as well with the Flow podcast. So I decided to stay in town Monday night, grabbed another hotel in the Hamptons, or Hampton in New Hampshire. And that's the name of the city. So Hampton, New Hampshire, I ended up getting a hotel and just hanging around there, which is just like a 15-minute drive from Amesbury. I met up with Lori, had breakfast at this place called New Kitchen. And it was so funny because we were there, just getting, catching up, so to speak, speaking about all the things, and mostly her interest with Aiden. And she's someone who's helped me out dramatically just with enlightening me on how to communicate with Aiden. So for that alone, I will forever be grateful. And we ended up going to this place, New Kitchen, to catch up and get breakfast while I was still in town. And we ended up speaking about Ken and how, code and circuits working, and how amazing, Ken and Glenn are, and everything that they do. And as we were speaking praise of Ken, she gets a text message from Ken, right? And then it was something that he had made a mistake with a credit card or something like that, but he was just informing her. And it was just like, oh, look, like, speak of the devil, we're just speaking of Ken. And he just messages at that same moment. And then at that same exact moment, when she responds, we both look outside the window of this said restaurant called New Kitchen in Portsmouth, right? No, actually in Newburyport, New Kitchen. And lo and behold, but Ken is outside, just right there with his laptop working, from like being at that same location. So it was just like the word that Lori gave me, which pretty much describes my entire trip of the Ecamm Creator Camp, is serendipitous. There was so many things that just happened, like the stars aligning, that the entire event, I would have to say, was serendipitous for me. And that was just one of the many memories that I made in that same manner. So I'm taken aback, and I'm still taking it all in, because there was so many things, so many amazing connections, and I can't wait to reach out to so many of the people that I met at Creator Camp and see where we go from here. So really excited about that. But that's just one of the many stories that I have from Ecamm Creator Camp 2024. And here's Gretchen saying hi to Gary, saying what's up to the fam. Kevin's in the house saying hello to everyone, and also reminding me to remind you to remind you to hit the like button, because I always forget. I just start going on my soliloquies. So there we are, and we're there at the end of chat. We got Tornado saying hi to Gretchen. But with that, we're gonna go to a bit of house cleaning, which is kind of the subject at hand as well. Today, let's go ahead and get that. Final day of pre-sale, because I'm leaving this up as long as the prices haven't changed. But now they've actually shipped. So a lot of people who have ordered their dock pops have already gotten them, and I am one of them myself. So even though you're seeing this beautiful pop filter, which I've had for a while now, this is officially the color that you'd be getting when you order your dock pops. And I have a couple more colors that I'm going to be putting on display. But on top of that, we're going to be editing today a couple of videos that I shot, both vertically and horizontally, to kind of just make these quick little pop filter commercials, right? So the dock pops filter commercials, just a little bit of advertisement, and that's just something that I'm just deciding to do myself. So I got the packages, so I decided to set up and get it done. And now that I've recorded that earlier today, we are gonna go together and edit these videos. But next thing on the docket is this course from also my friend Mr. Raphael Ludwig. If you're looking to learn how to edit videos with Final Cut Pro, this is a 2-week course that can teach you a lot of the basics and get you really started that way. So go ahead and check it out. Enhanced editing for Final Cut Pro with my friend Raphael Ludwig. And if you're wondering how I'm doing this, is this amazing program that I use to basically record, produce podcasts, go live, and show up in my best form online in every shape and way and form that I show up online. So, man, I'm still, you can see, decompressing, and it's catching up to me, right? I'm feeling a little tired, but I think by tomorrow I would be like all caught up on energy. So, but if you're wondering how I'm bringing the comments on, how I'm switching scenes, how I'm doing everything that you see here, is through the power. Wow, you can tell that is getting to me, but it's through the power of Ecamm, and Ecamm is the same people who produced this amazing event called Creator Camp, which I've been ranting on for so long. Which, hey, talking about that, we have Mr. Dave Cooper in the house. Actually, let me go back to this, to the comments window. There we go. It says Ecamm Camp was amazing. Great to meet you. Looking forward to collaborating in the future. Yes, I kind of just hinted about you a little while ago because I was just saying that I can't wait to reach out now that I'm home. And Dave Cooper is actually one of the ones that I will be reaching out to see about working together in the future. And I'm really excited. He's got a project in Tampa. So I'll be messaging you soon with contact information so that we can get on a call and see what we can do. And I'm really looking forward to the call and also working with you. So that's just one of many people that I'm looking forward to getting in contact with, and I'm just like super excited because this camp was amazing. And if you didn't hear me before, you're part of that serendipitous event for me, because it was just like the entire time all the stars were just not aligning, they just stayed aligned the entire time. So 2 weeks, and I've never experienced anything like that. You guys will be hearing more about it as the days goes on, because there's plenty, and I mean plenty, of stories that came out of this experience. But let's get into it. All right. Hey, K Wall's in the house as well, saying hello to everyone. What's up, Kathy? Another person that was there at Creator Camp, and quite a few, some of them that we missed. And Kevin, maybe in the future, but this is definitely something that I advise anyone who can make it to make it. It's like nothing that I've ever experienced before as far as community goes. And yeah. Oh, and the last thing that I was going to say, but the last thing, and that Ken and Glenn are already setting up for Creator Camp 2025, which it seems like it's so far away, but we're already in plans to make it even better than it was this year. So looking forward to that as well. But all right, so what do we got here? Let's go to a couple of shots over here. Going to the behind the scenes shot right here, I have to display my new set of Doc Pop filters. So I got them for a couple of different microphones because I wanted to see what I can use them for. So Doc obviously does not have the molds for every single microphone out there in existence, but because of this acoustic foam and the ability of it to stretch and basically like kind of not rip up and tear, you can put them on other microphones. So the one that I have right now, that I'm going to show you, is a bit different. Let's see if maybe the overhead camera gives a better illustration. Yeah. So you can see the colors are not exactly the same. So this was the test one that I've been using for a while, but this is the actual royal blue that you'd be getting if you were to order it right now. So once again, they look and feel like velvet, and they make you sound that way as well, as you can tell. But now we have a variety of different colors. So I also got purple for my SM7B. So we'll go over here. And man, that looks nice, right? But these can be fitted to quite a few different microphones. So another pop filter that I got is this big bad boy right here for the Rode Pod mic, which is this one right here. As you can see, one of the more popular mics and one of the lesser expensive microphones, right? Seeming that the Pod mic from Rode runs you about $100. And now with this beautiful piece of foam on top of it, once again, not only will you look good, but you will sound good using this Rode Pod mic. And I'm going to go to this shot right here because some of you who know already and some of you who met my son Aiden right now is pulling on me to ask me for something at the opportune time. What's up? No, we can't play right now. I'm doing my live stream. We will play again once I'm done. Aiden, you... Let me get you some snacks. Give me an hour. Funny how I have to ask permission from my son for an hour to edit on my live stream, but for those who know, he's the boss, so gotta keep him happy. Let's see what's. Oh, thank you, Tora. She said it was my time. Kevin says I need to make it, but let me put that up there. Says I need to make it, but it didn't work out with some changes. Yeah, but I know, but that's what I said. Like, everything happens for a reason. Unfortunately, Aubrey from Simply Ob's channel, she was supposed to be there, and we were supposed to be road tripping together. But I think I had mentioned it on live that she was in the process of selling a house and had to cancel out completely. So there are things that come up, but from everyone that was able to make it, they were able to experience like the difference of this event. So that's basically all I can say to that. You had to have been there. There was a lot of videos, like I was recording like interviews, right? So there was a couple of questions that I was just trying to ask as many of the campers that were there, and I did that on the last day. And one of them was like, what was the best part of camp, right? What was the best part of Ecamm's Creator Camp? And I cannot tell you how everyone kept coming back to the same exact answer, saying that the community, the people, the event was amazing, but the people were just top notch to the next level. And that's also what we're fostering here, right? Like the Ecamm's the Ecamm fam and the Camera Junkie crew are kind of like almost one and the same. And I'm very fortunate to be part of this all together, because the tight knit and the genuine care that you're getting in this community is second to none. And a lot of people were saying the software is free and you only pay for the community. So that's just an amazing way to look at it. But once again, like, camp was just off the charts amazing. So I recommend it to anyone who can make it. Oh, so I'm guessing Kevin has his pop filters as well. He's saying that these amazing how vibrant the colors are in person. Yes, and it really it's hard to emphasize it without you throwing the saturation. But they have a look and feel of like velvet, and I've loved since I got the test, the test product or the sample, and now that I got all of these in hand, I'm excited. Valerie says, just popped in, saying what's up to everyone. All right. And everybody's saying hi to Valerie. Yep, I love this community. All right, so let's see. And Tora says that she's getting a ticket as soon as possible for next year. Oh, that's awesome. Well, I can't wait to meet you there as well. Yeah, and you know what? Look what she says. Meeting the fam was awesome. I'm going to give you a perfect example of how this event went. I met Valerie for the first time IRL in real life, right, at this event. And when we finally got to be in the same room, I gave her a big hug and she was like, oh my God, I'm so happy to see you. And I mentioned to her right away, yes, it is so good to finally get to meet you in person. And she looked at me sideways and she was like, what are you talking about? Like I just missed you because I haven't seen you since the last time that I saw you. And I was like, no, this was the first time that we were ever meeting. But even though like the connections that we have made online have felt like we've already been in the same room, like offline, right? So it's pretty interesting. But that was just one of the many like things that happen where we already feel like we've known each other for so long and that we're just reuniting, even though it's the first time that we're meeting in person. Aiden, buddy, you're picking the wrong time. The wrong time. He does this to me all the time, for those who know. All right. So now, once again, I said we have some pop filters. I made some videos, and even though I have a variety of different microphones, like this is the Rode Pod mic, I then have like a variety of different options, right? Like this one is a microphone that I made a while ago, but I am able to take basically the same exact like functionality that I have for putting a standard pop filter onto it and applying that to the new one. So I'll put my little like retainer ring. This guy is relentless right now. Aiden, I am busy right now, buddy. He is not giving me. I'm not playing with the magnets now. No. I'm doing a live stream, and you know how you want me to play with the magnets. You want me to call out the colors. You want me to do the whole thing. And if you want me to do the whole thing, you have to give me a break. You got to give me a break. Okay. So, where was I? Relentless right now. So I can take these same pop filters and apply them on here. Even though this is made for the Shure MV7, I have the ability to apply this one on a microphone that I made myself, right? Which takes just a standard pop filter, but replace it. At the same time, the same filter, right? Or the same type filter, which is the MV7 style, I can take and replace on my Rode wireless microphone, which I was using at camp, and I was kind of missed out because I should have been using it, right? But I'm able to just throw that right on top and now get superior pulsive protection with Doc Rock's pop filter, using it on the Shure Wireless Go's and the microphone handle. And it looks a lot better when you have a pop of color like so to be able to share. At least I feel that way. But as you can see, the same pop filter, even though it's made for the MV7, I'm already using it on a couple of different microphones. Another one is like my condenser microphone. This is, you know, a high sensitivity microphone, and the pulsives tend to be exaggerated even a bit more compared to a dynamic microphone. So this will definitely benefit from the pop filter, and instead of having just a standard foamy one, you have the ability to take the same ones, right, like the same MV7 style, right, and just throw that right on top to give you that perfect protection of pulsives. And now you get that pop of color on a microphone just the same. As you can see, they all fit perfectly, just as long as, you know, it has the same like general size, or I guess circumference, or diameter was the word. Yes, just as long as it has the same like external diameter, which a lot of microphones tend to have. You have the ability. So the MV7 is top address, but because the acoustic foam is the same quality all around, you have a side address microphone like this one right here, and you're still able to throw that on there and get the same protection off the side as you will off of the top. So you have a variety of options, or basically depending on the microphone that you own already, you have the ability to get a pop filter from Doc's Pops to be able to throw it on there. Like this one, which I use the same MV7 pop filter, I'm able to remove it, right? And then throw, once again, a pop of color using the same MV7 or SM7B. I said MV7, but SM7B style. So what I was going to say is that, you know what, because the microphone capsule is actually not extended like the SM7B, I can also take the MV7 microphone and throw them on just the same. Right? So now I have a bit of a pop of color in a smaller set microphone, and they all look and sound amazing. So now that we've demonstrated what these pop filters can do, now we're going to go into editing the videos that I've already made, and I'm just going to give you an idea of what I was thinking. So what I did was basically created a static shot. I just cleaned up my desk, and I even have a behind the scenes video of it to show you the cone of cleanliness that I'm always talking about, which is basically just make what's in the shot pretty as can be. So I set up the camera and I set up the things that I was gonna use, and then I looked at the camera, and anything that I didn't like, I basically just removed out of the shot. So I made a pile of junk to the right and a pile of junk to the left, and I just shot in the center where it was nice and pretty, because that was the cone of cleanliness. And that's what I have for you today. And at the same time is actually, you know, like I said, I did record a BTS, a behind the scenes of the messes on the side to better illustrate how that will work. So now I'm just cleaning up my desk area a bit, because together we're gonna get into editing these videos and to show you the idea that I had. So the best way to show you the idea is to just get right into it. Now, I created a new scene for the edit. Let's make sure that we get there. Boom. And there we are. So now this is Final Cut Pro. Let me go ahead and open that up. And I'm going to go ahead and check the chat real quick, just to make sure before I get lost in the edit. See, Valerie saying, I still can't believe it was the first time that we met. I know. That was so cool. Okay, hold on. There we go. Let me move myself up there a bit. There we go. Yep. Paul says family reunion. Who is that question for, Valerie? For me? That would be a good question, because I'm somewhere between, like, I don't even know. Oh, I guess it's for Tornado or for Torah. And this is her answer. On Mondays, 5, 3, and 9/10, but the rest of the week, tell me I'm not 5'9". That's hilarious. Okay, so just make sure. It says the colors are so beautiful. I think so. They really do. And in person, they look even better. But they do come off very well on screen as well, which is important. Because if they just look good to you and don't look good on screen, then kind of defeats the purpose. But on screen, they look amazing as well. Like, look at this. It looks fake. It looks... Let's not even... Is this velvet? Says, I grab colors for my MV7 so I can throw them on Audio-Technica AT2100s and a few of my SM7Bs. Exactly. 3 mics, 6 colors will make it fun. Exactly. That's the second part. 3 mics and 6 colors will make it fun. Absolutely. Okay. So we got some chill music here. I'm gonna have to get control. This is where my Vision Pro has kind of tainted me just a bit. All right, so here we are on Final Cut Pro, and let's add the files. Actually, for those of you who never worked on Final Cut Pro, this is the first thing. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna create a new library. This should be here. Perfect. And we're gonna call this Doc Pops. Boom. Now that we created that, we're gonna create a new project inside of that library. We can just do it by clicking this button here, and we'll call it Pops Video. Boop. Okay, it's in 4K. Yeah, we'll do the vertical one first. I mean the horizontal one compared to the vertical, because well, actually we have to do the other one, because the one that I uploaded, yes, are the vertical files. So we're going to be editing the vertical one. So we're going to go here to video, we're going to go to vertical, and it automatically defaults right here. As you can see, I'm going to go zoom in. It automatically defaults to 720 resolution. I'm going to change that to the 2160, which is the 4K resolution. Okay. And now we're going to hit OK. And we're going to get our vertical timeline. As you can see on the upper left hand, where you're actually seeing the video display, you're getting a small little skew vertical, and the timeline is empty. First thing that I'm going to do is just drop, and I have these in my downloads folder, so wherever it is that you have your files, you're just gonna go ahead and grab them and just drop them into your timeline. Yeah, I have to open up this to get into my downloads so that I can select all the files together. together. There we go, the group. It looks like 6 files, and I'm dragging them over here, and I'm just throwing them onto my timeline. Now I can drag them up and drop them over here into the date collection, right up here, but I'm just trying to make it as easy as possible. And once again, all I did was just drop them on the timeline. Now I'm gonna hit Command, or actually Shift Z, and basically takes everything and puts it together, or basically shrinks your entire timeline to fit within your screen. So we're seeing everything, all of the 6 clips, and what I'm gonna be doing with them. So that's actually a good one to start with. Okay, let's start with this one. No, let's put this one. All right, so let me see how I could best show this. Okay, what I did was I started with an empty scene, and that empty scene, oh, did it look, I just now noticed this on the bottom left hand corner of the video file there. It actually, you can see a bit of the lens of the camera of the FX30 that I was using. Kind of dropped the ball a bit on that one. Okay, so maybe I won't start with this one, I'll start with this one. Okay, perfect, this looks a bit better. I did the purple one. Okay, all right, here we go. Audio, I didn't care about these files because I'm just going to be throwing sound effects and music as a music bed onto these videos. So this is the plan. I basically have the Rode pod mic there standing still. I'm going to flash the card which shows the pod mic, you know, like envelope that it comes in. And then what I'm going to do is basically interpose those so that as soon as the envelope is going to be like the cut point, and I'm going to switch it so that once the envelope leaves, then the pop of color or the pop filter is already going to be on the microphone. It's super easy. All you have to do is basically just match the transitions and cut everything in the middle. So let's expand upon this so we can see. So to show you, see the first, before I even get in there, okay, so I'm just gonna edit to there, right? So we're just seeing the microphone. It says pod mic, microphone, and now I'm gonna cut it right there, and that's it, right? And now we're gonna see me remove the card over, put the pop filter on it, right? Not moving it, kind of like basically what's it, like stop motion animation, right? And now I'm gonna go right to basically a similar spot and see exactly where I can find it. So right here, I'm gonna now just trim out everything there. And you can see, I can basically play that. And we're just gonna see what it looks like. There's a tiny cut in there, you saw it, right? But then as soon as it's got, you know, we've done the magic, and that's it. And that's like a quick 15-minute clip. Like we can throw that on TikTok or something like that, and it's done. And you have the beginning, middle, and end. And the only sound effect that I'm gonna throw on there is what, a pop, right? I can't even make that sound right now, but you know, one of those, like, that's not even working today. So regardless, the pop sound that I get from Epidemic's sound effects, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw on there, and that's it. And you know, in all sincerity, that's a 15-second clip and it's done. And I think I still need to trim it because there's too much space between, like, you know, there's too much envelope. So I'm gonna go to here. I'm gonna clip it there. So now there's a transition effect, which I'm just gonna try to see exactly how it works out. Cross dissolve is my go-to for basically like anything that I want to smoothen out when it's two things that are completely different, right? When they're completely different and you just want to transition from one shot to the next. What I'm going to be doing here is I actually want to kind of like mesh them, right? Kind of like mold them or fuse them together, right? So that's when I'm going to use a different transition effect. So over here on the right hand side, this little squiggly line, that's your transition effects. So you can go ahead and click that. See, and the first one that comes up is cross dissolve. But oh my god, I'm running a blank on the name right now. I just said it. The one that it fuses is flow. Okay, so you see, I think it used to be called cross flow, but don't worry about that. So we're gonna take flow and we're gonna throw that right here. Boop. Man, look at that. Okay, let's see exactly how that flow is gonna look. Okay, not too good. It looked better beforehand. All right, so you know what? I'm gonna remove the flow right now, and let's see if I could just find two shots that are better. Okay, and if you see what I'm doing, I'm trying to match the purple road dots and the location of where they are in the speaker. I might not get it. Yeah, I think that was the lowest that I got. Showing the speaker. See, I'm just scrubbing along just to see exactly like you know, once I select it and I'm scrubbing, you can see that it's giving you display of both. So it's showing you where the video clip that I'm adjusting ends and where the other one begins, and I'm just trying to get them relatively in the same location. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to see if maybe there was another one. Okay. Let's see something here. Those look pretty good, right? There's like two little feet coming out the bottom of the envelope on the right one, and I'm gonna try to work with that. Okay, now let's see what it looks like just playing back in real time. Doc pops, look fresh, sound fresh. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, okay, I'm gonna grab both of these clips and I'm gonna hit Option G and I'm gonna group them together. So it's called Pops Video Clip, and we're gonna put a number 1 on the back and we're gonna hit 1. So I basically took that edit, right, and I just made it a new file. So now it's only there as one file. But for those of you who don't know, here's a quick tip. If you're like, oh, I wanted to adjust it still a little bit, but I made it like a compound file, this is the beauty of Final Cut Pro. You can basically just double click in it, and once you double click in it, you're brought into the inside of the file, which gives you the ability to just make those adjustments that you just forgot to do, and then apply them. And once you're done, you hit the back arrow and everything's saved within the clip itself. So that's where we have it. But the little part where it actually cuts, right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that section and I'm going to speed it up. So I'm going to grab my range tool, right, and this part here in the center, which is the most boring part, right, of the clip, I'm going to now speed it up. We're going to speed that up by 2 times. So as you can see, I've taken the center of it and I sped that up. You can see here on at the beginning, it says normal 100%. then this is fast 200%, and then this is normal 100%. So it's the speed ramp. So it's gonna go normal, fast, back to normal. And now we're just gonna play it to see exactly what that looks like. We have Doc Pops. And that's it. And now if I were to take it and I would just grab it on the range, it's telling me that it's a 9-second 0.25 clips, or basically almost 10 seconds, because that's 25 frames of 30. So almost 10 seconds. You could consider 10-second clip. And with a little bit of text on screen, some music selected by your preferred platform where you're going to be throwing this on. So whether it be Instagram, TikTok, so on and so forth, you just select whichever song, you know, that's probably popular or you know, popping off at the moment. You know, said that, pun intended. But whichever song is popping off in your social media platform at the moment, you will add that to this, and that's just a simple, quick way to throw that on there. So I have another one just the same, where I have the same mic and the same setup, but instead of doing it with the purple, I'm doing it with the blue. So I was attempting it to do it with the cross flow, right, or the flow, you know, transition effect. But in all sincerity, I think matching them up there and just kind of speeding it up and just has that little, just a bit of hesitation, is more than good enough, than, you know, for the purposes that we're doing it here. This isn't a high-end production. So once again, I'm just playing it back. Doc Pops, pop, boop, and that's it. All right, so that's one. And here's a tip, right? Let's say you have multiple things on a timeline, right? You have multiple clips, but you just want to export that one. Well, you just select that one, but not like you would normally select, right? Come on, let's scroll faster, right? So if I were to select this clip, I'm selecting the clip. But then if I were to go to export right now, I would be exporting the entire timeline. What you have to do is, once again, you have to use your range tool. So once you select your range tool, you're able to select it, and you select it everything in range. And the way you can tell, to emphasize, is that the ends are going to have these little knobs on them. See? So you see that has like that little knob on each end. That's your rangefinder tool. And if you can see underneath my cursor, it almost has the same like thing mimicking it, so to speak, where it has like the little knobs. And now, because this is the only file that I've selected, if I were to go to export this, right, and I would say, you know, export in 4K, right, this video, even though it says Doc Pops, as you can see right here, that's what it's only going to be exporting 9 seconds 0.25, which is just the beginning of that clip. So I would hit next, right, pop video 1, hit enter, and now you'll see right over here in Final Cut Pro that it's exporting, and it's almost done. That's it. Then you get a notification. Mine's over here on the right hand side. It says share successful, and for me to show the file, and I don't think you can see this right now, but you know what, let me go back to Ecamm Live. Let me go back to this, and mind you, this is with no audio right now, so I haven't even added. Oh, hold up. Come back to Final Cut. No. Come back here. Oh, it's playing in the background. Where did it go? It's playing in the background, but where? I don't see it in my overlays. Oh, okay. This is what's going on here. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. What I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to turn off my. Can you hear me now? Wow. I cut off the camera and it muted me. So that was very interesting. It's playing it as a source. That's what I was trying to explain. So it's there as a source. Leave it as blank. Okay. Animated overlay. There we go. So that's the video now. Let's play it one more time. That's it. Done. Let me know what you guys think, because it's super simple, but I feel is going to be effective. And this is one of those videos that if for whatever reason you don't catch it the first time, that's why it's perfect on TikTok and like the looping type of, you know, short content platforms, because it'll just do that. And if you're interested in getting this yourself, then the link will be in the description of the video the same way. So this is just one of many ways to do this for this type of content. Now, another thing which I'm going to go back to now, let me just close this out. Going back to the edit window. Oh, too many windows open now. Wait, but wasn't I? Yeah, this is the edit window. Yeah. Hold on. Did I? Oh, of course. This is just me. I'm like, of course, it's not gonna share the window on the edit window if I have minimized the program. See, that's just me brain farting. Okay, so go back to edit. Right there we go, and we're seeing everything. 100% on me, guys. My brain is it needs some rest. Okay, so let me move myself a little bit up there as well. All right, so we're back on the timeline. This is the idea that I have for this one, right? Doc pops, right? And basically I have the static shot, but because I kind of messed up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the file completely and I'm just going to zoom in a bit, right? And I'm going to zoom in to the point where we no longer see that lens on the bottom left hand corner. So now my OCD is feeling a lot better. Now that we've made that adjustment and zoomed it into 135, I'm going to go ahead and go with my strategy. Oh, I'm going to let it go, but I just realized where I made a mistake, which is the reflection on the television / monitor behind this is actually reflecting all of my movements. So the plan is to have a static shot. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut to each time where I've added something, once again, like stop motion. But this one's going to be way more stop motion-y, so to speak, where I'm just literally going to just have the things just appear. And with the cut, I want the hard cut. You understand? I'm not trying to make it smooth like I did in the previous clip. I'm trying to make the hard cut so that that's where I'm actually going to add the sound effect, like pop, 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 pop. All right. So once again, I'm gonna go here, see where I start, and okay, so right here, this is the static shot, so I'm gonna close it here. So that's my first shot, and now I'm gonna cut it there. The next shot is gonna have the first one there, and poop, there we go. So you see, so now it's just gonna go from nothing to pop. See, for those of you who know, you could see the difference in the reflection behind the television, which I'm gonna see if maybe I mask it somehow just for my own, you know, like peace of mind. But right there, so now that's the next static shot. I give that a couple seconds. I'm gonna clip it, right? And then I'm gonna go to the next one where I add another one, which I'm cutting off now, but still we're gonna just roll with it. Right, so that's there. Now that that's there, I'm going to cut it there, so that'll be the second pop. That'll be blank. We got pop, pop. See, and I might make those, and I might cut those to the beat, right? I might add a song to it that then, depending on where it pops or it hits the snare or the bass, you know, depending on the sound cues, is where I'll actually put the pops and maybe add it so that it can match the song. So if not, then, you know, you could do something like snack crackle pop from, you know, pop 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 pop, you know, whatever your heart's content. So that's the next one. We give it some seconds, and right there we're gonna clip that till we get the next one, which you'll see me throwing in the background there. Pop. So we clip it there. We give that some seconds, you know, just a little bit of time. We're going to cut it. We're going to move to the last one. And we're going to cut it there. So now, let's see exactly where we are. We're here. Pop, 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 pop. And then, if I remember correctly, I believe I dressed all of them, which would be the last pop of color. So this is just me in the background. See a lot of, you know, most of this clip is gonna die on the cutting room floor. I'm doing my best to not move, even though I dropped. You see the pop filter logo on the one in the back just fell as soon as oh, there we go. But I changed the color nonetheless. Prop it up there as best I can. And now that should be there, which will be that to close it off. All right, so now oh, sorry, that wasn't what I was intending to do. Go back to the front where we were. Perfect. Okay. Hit the wrong button. Okay, so I just created a little gap here. I'm just gonna throw that in front and back so that we have a little separation on the clips. So this is the clip. I think that's taking too long. So we're losing attention. Pop, pop. Just, I'm giving you my general, like, gut feeling of how I feel, how long it should take before we get the next thing, before you start losing people's attention. So we got the video is clip, pop, pop. Still too long. Pop, pop. Pop. Okay. Pop, 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 pop. That's it. So now, once again, I'm gonna get this and I'm gonna group it together. Option G. We're gonna call that clip number 2. we got that there. And now, once again, we're gonna just get the rangefinder tool, select it, and it tells us that this one's 7.28 seconds, and that's all it is. Once again, we've selected it with the rangefinder tool, so we can go right back up here to export. We'll export to 4K, and it'll be clip number 2. We can see it's only 7.28 seconds, so it's exactly what we want. Pops video number 2. Bam. Takes just seconds to export it. As you can see, the little donut is completing itself. And there we go. And now that the donut's complete, we have the file available. And if I go back to that same window, go ahead and drop it correctly. And I named it video 21. It was supposed to be 2. But once again, go ahead and animated overlay. Actually, I'm gonna play that again, and I'm gonna see how good or how bad I did with that envelope that fell over. So let's see. Not too bad. I was really paying attention to the location of the thing, so not too bad. And there you go, 7 second and another little clip. Let me know what you guys think. We're at the hour, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut it there as far as the edits themselves, right? But they're in the same exact points where it would clip, or that I have the hard cuts, is where I'm gonna be adding the pop sound effects. So and those of you who follow me will be seeing those hit the social media platforms pretty soon. So let me go ahead and once again check back in with you guys. See exactly where we're at. Excuse me. Mark Whitby. Mark is me. Well, welcome. He says, I got my doc pop too, but oh, what a story. Okay. Says, got to deal with an issue. We'll try to get back. Oh, Paul, hope everything is good. Yep, as you can see. Oh, Kevin's holding it down. Is this real? Did I get a super chat and not know about this? A super chat IDR for Mark. Wait. Thanks for your training. I don't have my YouTube comments open up as a separate window, which will notify me. So you know what? We're going to go ahead and check it out. Yeah. Oh my God. Thank you so very much. So yeah, like that's incredible. So thank you, Mark. I really do appreciate that. So look at that. Let's go for the big ups on the super chat. You know, you don't have to, and when it happens, I'm so appreciative. So thank you, Mark. Really, really do appreciate that. That's amazing. Look at that. Like this feeling, what you're seeing here, 100% genuine. So thank you. It really does mean a lot. You see, Kevin's even giving you the props. We all thank you, sir. Scott Rogers in the house saying what's up to the crew. Kevin says, with all the envelope movement, you can never tell that they didn't match up perfectly. Hey, appreciate it. And that was on the first clip. He says, edit to the McDonald's. That's actually good. That's actually good, because that will be incepted into people's minds. Pop, 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 pop. You might be onto something, Kevin. If you see it, you know that you definitely incepted that idea. Oh, that's really good, Kevin. Really good, really good. Hey, Randy's in the house. It says, nice to see you back safely. Watch on Rewind. Cheers. Appreciate you, sir. Camera Junkie crew. He always watches me on Sundays on the replay. But as always, highly appreciated. Thank you for taking the time But seeming that we're ending things out and we're closing it out, let me go ahead and minimize my Final Cut Pro, and then I'm going to maximize this window so that then we can go and do what we always do. Cities Gaw, channels that I think you should go and watch. And this week's Cities Gaw is none other than Mr. Bronson from Audio Hotline. Now, we're talking about microphones, we're editing videos on microphones, we're talking about pop filters, and because we're talking about audio and pop and sounds, I want to be the one to introduce you to this amazing channel. Now, if you haven't heard of him, he's an amazing content creator. Audio Hotline is his YouTube channel. I found him through hanging out in the live streams with Tom Buck and things like that. Tom actually got to meet him at NAB, which is pretty cool. But once I was made aware of him, I saw the value in his content. He makes a lot of great, amazing content based around audio. Now, you know that I've mentioned other audio-centric channels on here as well, like Booth Junkie, right? But of many that I've highlighted, but this is just another one, another content creator as well. You know, he's very laid back, you know, super chill, but giving you great content and good information when it comes to audio, microphones, and anything that you need to better up your content. So if you haven't heard of him before, let me be the first one to introduce you to this week's Cities Gaw, channels that I think you should go and watch. None other than Bronson from the YouTube channel Audio Hotline. So that's this week's Cities Gaw, channels that I think you should go and watch. And that's it, everyone. We did it. We have successfully completed another episode of the Camera Junkie live stream. Now, this was episode 204, and if you're wondering, 204, that's a lot. Yeah, but not only is it a lot, it's actually been 204 consecutive weeks, and that means I have been doing this week in, week out for 204 episodes without skipping a beat. Now, what does that let you know? That you can mark this down on your calendar and know that this is going to be going down every Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Mr. Camera Junkie YouTube channel. So make sure you're subscribed. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to hit the like button. It's highly appreciated. And mark it down on your calendars that we will be doing this all over again for episode 205 next week, same time, same place. Now, another bit of information is that we are definitely creeping up, just 4 weeks away from episode 208. And if you're wondering why 208 is so big, it's because that will complete 4 consecutive years, which is something that I would have never thought that I'd be doing for so long when I started this 4 years ago. And now it's such a big part of my week that I don't know what I'd do without it. So as always, I want to thank you, every single one of you, all the Camera Junkie crew who make it out here week in and week out to make this my favorite place to be every single week. So I can't thank you enough for making this and being part of the community that I cherish so much. So thank you as always for taking the time and hanging out here with me. And I can't wait to see all of your smiling faces while we do it all over again next week, same time, same place. So until then, take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you next time. Talk to you.